Hey D, how you doing, man?
Good,
Long
good.
time.
Yeah.
Um, just wondering, this team hasn't played much with you and without LeBron. What do you think, the identity of the group will be on the floor with you on the floor, but not LeBron?
We're gonna continue to fight. I mean, uh, obviously he's a big focal point of our team. But we're gonna have to be able to make up for that load. I mean, the guys have done a great job of making sure that we stay in the fight while LeBron and myself has been out. And now that I'm near return, I think he probably have maybe a couple weeks or so. I'm guessing. Um, no, it's going to be my job to try to help the team stay afloat until he come back as well and stay fighting. But this team has done, more than we can ask for. Each guy to make sure that we stay in the fight and win games. Even when guys thought that we were going to drop drastically because of me and Bron's injury, but we've been able to stay afloat. So we're going to continue to work hard, be the hardest playing team, being a team that plays for each other, play together, and continue to win ball games.
Bill, hey AD, good to see you. When you first got hurt, I think they had initially kind of estimated about a 4 week absence for you. What have the last couple months been like for you, and how has your understanding of what you were dealing with kind of evolved over that time? And did it ultimately end up taking quite a bit longer than you expected initially?
Yeah, I mean, initially it was 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, um, and then just continuing to look at the scans and uh, testing it out, and it took a longer process. I mean, after 4 weeks, I was doing some test things on the leg, and had to stop because it was painful or whatever the reason may be, and wasn't ready. So just delaying the process of uh, to make sure that it's completely healthy and healed before I go back out and play. And we revisited those same tests maybe I think maybe 3 days ago, 4 days ago, somewhere around that time, and felt completely fine. So therefore, we are able to decide that I'm you know ready to go back to basketball activities. In the past 3 days, 4 days, been ramping up, trying to see how it feels after you play through contact and get up and down and things of that nature. And so tomorrow's the ultimate test. Had 2 days of um, you know live contact, about 30, 45 minutes, and then today go through a full practice. So see how it responds in the morning, see if it's sore or if it feels good, and we go forward from there.
Yeah.
Hello, AD. It's good to see you. If you feel good tomorrow, is the plan to play?
Yes.
And then I guess for you, as you kind of work through this process, was the goal to get to 100%? Was it to get good enough to play? I guess like how physically do you feel right now, and how if it is 100%, how big of an advantage is that going into the playoffs, knowing that you look around the league and seemingly nobody's 100%?
Yeah. I think the first time I did it in maybe late January, when I started feeling it, uh, I wasn't 100% when I was coming back, but I didn't think it was this big of an issue. And then on February 14th in Denver, um, you know, I felt something that I never like felt before as far as pain, and that's how I knew it was probably something serious. So I just want to make sure, it was 100% when I came back. I don't want to have to go through this, over and over for the, rest of the season, let alone the rest of my career. So, I want to make sure that I was coming back 100%, because it wouldn't be fair to myself, it wouldn't be fair to my team. And it feels good. Like I said, I feel 100% healthy. I feel great, especially the rest of these games. About 16 games left or something like that, 14, leading to the playoffs. Like you said, a lot of guys around the league aren't healthy. A lot of teams aren't healthy, and for us to, for the most part, be healthy, I'm getting back 100% healthy. Well, I am 100% healthy, and then we got Bron, who's coming back as well, who's uh, going to be 100% healthy. So I think we put ourselves in a good position.
Eddie, good to see you. Not wearing a hat and skinny jeans. Is there any parallel to what you guys will be going through over these next several weeks after the layoff because of injuries versus last season, where there was a 4.5 month hiatus? You guys came back together and went on your championship run.
I think there's some similarities. I mean, I think we were playing good basketball before the hiatus, and then it stopped, and we had to get back into find that rhythm again, find that togetherness and that camaraderie. It's kind of the same thing, Bron's going to be out before he returns. I think it was like 4 to 6 weeks or something like that, and I've been out 2 months, so it's kind of like starting it all over. And then we adding new guys, Dre, Ben, that me and Bron haven't played with. So, and it's going to feel different playing with these guys again, just trying to figure things out, even though it did look good in practice. So, I think there are parallels, but we're going to figure it out for sure. We're going to figure out and find ways to win ball games. But like I said, it looked good in practice, and hopefully it translates to the game where we don't have to have that many games where we're trying to figure each other out.
What's good, AD?
What's up, man?
Hey, what was your reaction to the George Floyd verdict? And have you guys as a team discussed that? And what was everyone's thought process about that?
We haven't discussed it as a team, but I think it was just. Obviously, I think a lot of people in the world are, happy with the verdict, and just being able to give that family peace, a peace of mind. I think that it was the first steps, for justice. And I saw a lot of tweets and posts and everything on social media that, why are people getting excited, for justice when, that's what it seems like it's supposed to be. Like, that's supposed to happen. You murder someone, that's what's supposed to happen. So, but I think it was a good day, just for the world to be able to get justice. Because you see so many times where, it doesn't happen, and so for us to be able to see that, everything that we've been fighting for, the past year and a half, 2 years, we started to see that it changed a little bit for us, and that's all we asked for, and continuing to change, not just with this, but everything else that's going on in the world. Killings are still happening, and we want justice for that too. So I think it was a good day for me personally, a good day for the black community, being able to see that. And like I said, we haven't discussed it as a team. I think guys, individually will, for sure. But I think it was definitely a good step to accountability and for justice.
Got time for a couple more. Mark Medina.
Hey, D, good to see you.
too.
Pretty prolonged layoff. What's your expectation of how long the process will be of, catching up on the conditioning, getting the rust off, and getting back to how you were playing before the injury?
Yeah, no matter what you do, you can't emulate basketball shape, game shape. So that's just going to take time of just continuing playing in games and getting that win. And then as far as like the rust and stuff, that just comes naturally. I felt good the past couple of weeks. Felt good in practice today. As far as the passing and the shot making and things like that. So, I thought it was going to be something drastic, but it wasn't. So, and it just comes with reps. Just being able to shoot the shots in the game and having confidence to make them. So I'll play maybe a couple games. It'll take me.
Melissa.
Hey Dee, good to see you.
Sure.
2 questions for you. First one, you said that was a pain that you had never experienced before. What exactly did that feel like? And then second question for you is, how much of this was also a mental challenge, just in terms of like keeping the bigger picture perspective of you wanting to guard your health and be healthy come playoff time and not trying to rush this?
Yeah, I think to answer your first question, the pain was like I felt pain there before, just going through the process when the first time I injured it, but the second time, and I hate to say it, but I never, knock on wood or whatever, I never tore Achilles, but I kind of felt like sharp pain and like it was ripping kind of, so which I never felt before. Really, the pressure was, tough to put on the flexing and everything like that. Flexing my foot and things like that was very painful. So I knew it was something serious. I mean, it wasn't as serious as it, could have been, but it was still, a pretty significant, injury. And then, what was your second question?
The mental challenge.
Oh yeah, the mental challenge. Yeah, I think me just staying engaged. I think in the games, being like another coach, helping the guys. I think that's how I kind of just stayed engaged and kind of got my fix of not being able to play. Just being in the gym with the guys and in the games and breaking down the games in different plays for the guys, helping them learn. And it kind of helped me become a better leader as well, like a vocal leader, talking to the guys and helping them out. So it was good for me, but also, I think it was good for them to kind of just hear my voice and not just kind of, sit back and just watch and, well, I'm not playing, so they figure it out. So I kind of just try to be that does of the team when I was out, and going to continue to do that, even if I'm playing.
We're gonna wrap with a follow-up from Kyle.
First of all, I like that visual, you being the duds of the team. But I want you touched on it with Andre, obviously a huge piece added to this team since you've been out. Andre was talking about the fit with USA Basketball. You guys have played together. What does that help? What do you think the fit is, and how much time do you think it will take to adjust to having a guy as big as Andre on the floor again?
Dre's a good adapter, and he, we had a couple plays today in practice where we connected, but he's a good adapter. He's always asking questions. He asked me today, AD, if you catch it here, where do you want me to go? If you're doing this, where you want me to be? So he's always, trying to learn. Knowing that it's different, when I'm on the floor, his role changes a little bit. So I think it's gonna be fairly quickly for us to really adapt to each other because we're both guys who want to learn from each other and want to win at the end of the day. And when you got two guys who want to win, you find ways to make it happen. So I think he's a great fit for us. He's been great for us so far. And he's only going to get better. The more he, continues to learn the system, and then the more me and him play with each other, we'll get better. And then when Bron comes back, he's getting his lobs, and he can be the Andre Drummond that everybody is looking forward to, which he's been. But he really is going to, I think, blossom and show everyone why why he wanted to come here.
Hey, before AD, we just have two more follow-ups from our beat writers. Dave, can you quickly ask your question, please?
It's Dan and Bill.
Dan, we're just trying to get to the plane, but go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah, AD, I just wanted to ask you about Nike and Kobe. Those are shoes that you've worn for most of your career. You've been associated with that brand. What was your reaction to that, and what are you going to do with the pairs you have now? You're going to put some on ice?
Yeah, it was tough to see. Not sure it was, final. I think they can always come back and figure some things out, but I don't know all the details of everything, the ins and outs. But, just to see that definitely hurts. And so it definitely makes you think about, which Kobe's, what makes me think about which Kobe's I want to wear in the debut, or do I want to just keep them tucked for my own personal possessions. So, but it's tough to see. Hopefully they figure it out and kind of keep it going. I know a lot of people would love to see it.
And the last question will be with Bill.
AD, real quick, I mean, just with the way you're talking about that injury in Denver, so if you go back to that night, were you concerned that you had torn your Achilles when it first happened and before that MRI, and how scary was that period of time for you?
I don't want to say I thought it was a full tear, because I remember, a lot of guys just, say if you tore your Achilles, you'll feel it in your calf, and it like rose up or something like that. And I didn't feel that, but I did think that I probably partially torn it or something like that, which I was, definitely afraid of. But MRI and everything was a little different, so that was great news for me.